Hello, friends, and welcome to the new episode of r/IDontWorkHereLady. And today we have another set of 3 stories about crazy people. And the first of them. The student has become the master. It's the early 2000s, and I'm a senior in high school. My graduating class had 800 students in it, and the school itself was a massive campus broken up into around 6 buildings. The first day of my senior year, we spent the entire day in homeroom. You would only visit homeroom maybe 3 or 4 times a year at this school. It was just an easy way to break the student body up into manageable groups. If every student has to do a thing, line up by homeroom. If a teacher needs an arbitrary way to break up the class into groups, homeroom building letter. Want to check out a book? Name and homeroom. Want tickets to prom? School ID and homeroom. School needs to make everyone watch a presentation. For hour 1, please go to homeroom. For all this homeroom talk, we actually sat in the room twice my senior year, and in the case of my room in particular, only once. So it's the first day of school. I have my schedule in hand, and I'm headed to my homeroom, room A003. So, a building in the basement, room 3. There it is. I sit down well before the bell and manage to snag the last of the 16 desks in this broom closet of a room. Shortly thereafter, we're standing room only. And by the time the first bell rings, we upgrade to 1 sardine 10 worth of students, 36 students, 16 desks. We haven't even gotten to that class yet, but things are not adding up. My homeroom teacher stands in the doorway, takes one look at his sardine students and says, "Nope, everyone out into the hallway." So we all march out of our own clown car classroom. The teacher then takes us to room A004, which is over twice the size and has plenty of desks. The teacher tells us, just write A004 on your schedules. If you're asked your homeroom number, say A003, but if you're told to go to homeroom, come here instead. Fast forward 1 school year. It's the last day of school. Now, for obvious reasons, no sane teacher in this district would think to demand a class of seniors to do anything on the last day of high school other than watch the clock. We're sitting in homeroom. Now, I just happened to measure 6'2", and my hard-grown peach fuzz beard had matured into a wonderful dark brown. All those nights of standing in the mirror using sheer willpower to make it grow has paid off. And the icing in the cake was the fact that I had elected. Okay, so we had some family stuff to go to, and I would have to leave school and drive to said family stuff directly, so I was dressed in my Sunday best, a full-sleeve collared button-down with slacks and my nice leather formal shoes. These 3 things became the trifecta for this series of events. The bell rings and no teacher. Okay, maybe he's late. 10 minutes after bell? Maybe he's really late. 15? 30? So there was nothing but chaos in this classroom. Everyone was doing what they wanted to do, no holds barred. I elected to doodle in my notebook like the cultured young adult I was pretending to be. That's when my pencil broke. So I get up and head over to the pencil sharpener and get to sharpening. I stop and admire my handiwork when there's a knock on the door. This kills half the noise in the room. I open the door to find an older, 5 foot, not an inch more, looking 14 inches up at me. She hastily explains that her class is missing. Before I get a word in, she shows me a piece of paper. She's a substitute teacher, and she's subbing for our homeroom teacher. The class is down to hushed whispers as everyone is listening. I just look at this poor woman as she explains that all the children just haven't shown, not a single one. Is this A building? That's A003, right? At this time, one of my more quick-thinking classmates raises her hand and says, "Mr. OP?" This clues me in, and all the pieces click into place. I excuse myself and address the class, asking them to please keep it down and pull out their health books, page 107. Without a single misstep, my comrades in arms all grab their books and turn to the page. Not one word is uttered for fear of breaking the voodoo that we were casting. My fate as the teacher of A004 was sealed at that point. I give the substitute instructions on how to get to the main office and tell her to double-check the assignment. She hurries off, and I turn to my class. For a few terrible minutes, no one breathes. Then we hear the sound of someone ascending the stairs out of the basement, and we all burst into laughter. Now begins phase 2, sealing the deal. A few students rush up and scribble health-related notes up on the whiteboard. I grab my health book, turn to the fateful page. Well, wouldn't you know it? Human growth and development. Nice. A watcher keeps an eye in the hallway. Sure enough, 20 minutes or so later, the sub returns and she's not alone. One of our principals is along for the ride. They examined A003. No kids. We panic. A principal was not a part of the plan. The biggest kid in class jumps up. "My time to shine," he says. He grabs his book and stands in front of the class. He all but obscures me from view. The door opens and the principal sticks her head in the room. Big kid's halfway through describing the precise medical definition of a particular part of the male body, not the one you're probably thinking of, by the way, and without even a double take, the principal is gone. Victory! We spend the remaining 6 or so hours of class completely unsupervised. It was truly the best day of my high school career. Airport confusion. So I work at a small airport in Germany as a security and visa agent, specifically considering U.S. flights. I really like my job, even though it's only part-time because I'm still a student. I really like to help, even if it is technically not my job, as long as you're nice enough. So we wear blue slacks, white button-ups and ties, scarves, and the maintenance people, cleaning people, wear bright orange stuff. Honestly, you can tell us apart very easily. So I was at my desk preparing to board the Miami plane. Right behind my desk is a toilet, and a very large and tall man got out and came straight to me, sort of smirked at me and groaned, "I need help." Me, being the jolly-go-lucky person that I am, because I really like my job, smiled at him and said, "What can I do for you, sir?" That's when I noticed the pungent smell that was coming out of the toilet right behind me. I was slightly disgusted, but I kept my facial expression in place. Now this dude straight up looked me in the eye and said, "I need you to wipe up the crap in the bathroom." Me, still being in customer service mode, just said, "I'll call someone from maintenance right away." Well, Craphead looked at me and said, "Stop being lazy and do your damn job. I know you work here. Go get your cleaning supplies and get started." I'm now slightly irritated. "Sorry, sir, but I'm actually not maintenance. I'm a visa agent, but I'll call maintenance right away, like I just said." Craphead almost yelled at me, "Do your effing job, you little piece of crap." That's when I stopped being nice. Now, I'm a security agent, but I'm not a security officer. I'm not allowed to touch him. But I am allowed to deny his flight if I fear that he could be a threat to flight security. So I told him, "Sir, refrain from that language. I will call someone from maintenance that'll make sure that the bathroom is clean again. Please behave yourself or you won't be able to make the flight today." Well, Craphead got really red in the face, and I kind of feared that some artery in his fat-embedded brain would burst, but he eventually just spat out a "wipe it up." I just smiled, waved over the nice guy from the federal police who has to stay with us the entire time, and declared that his flight will be denied for security reasons, and that he's to leave the security area of the airport immediately. Craphead got even redder, and before he could say anything to me, the police officer asked him to please follow him. To his credit, Craphead did it without complaining. Everything else went well. We didn't even have a delay. But seriously, F that guy. And our third story. Your potato salad belongs in the trash. This is a two-parter with a very satisfying ending. Part 1. So one day I'm shopping at my usual supermarket. As I so often do, I have my headphones in, so I don't hear what's going on around me. I primarily rely on my eyes to notice what's happening. Anyway, there I was, all paid and putting my groceries into my bag when suddenly a dripping cup of potato salad appears in front of my eyes. Dripping, oily marinade into my bag and all over my groceries. I look up and see a red, round, angry face, RRAF, saying something to me, so I pop out a headphone. RRAF. Effing now. At this point, I didn't realize one thing. He was speaking English, and as you can tell by this single sentence, where I live, we speak a different language, but as I do speak and understand English almost all the time, I didn't realize it at that moment. Me. Huh? RRAF. This potato salad is leaking. Get me a new one. Right effing now, you lazy F. Me. Why? His behavior hadn't really sunk in yet. RRAF. That's what you bag boys are supposed to do, you lazy F. Okay, now I've caught on. Me. Hey, butthole, I'm not a bag boy. RRAF. Well, whatever you are, get me new potato salad. Me. Hey, moron, I'm just shopping here. Which was when he saw the potato salad in my bag. RRAF. Then just give me yours. He reached for my bag and forced his cup of potato salad into my hands. It was covered in marinade, and he made a disgusted face and tossed it back into my carefully packed bag. Give me new potato salad. I'd had enough by then. I took my bag and walked into the store to dump the potato salad in a trash can. He turned even redder before I left the store. I can't even begin to rationalize how he could have reasonably thought that I was a bag boy. 1, around here, there are no bag boys. 2, I was wearing a military-looking black jacket. The supermarket employees all wear red polos. 3, there were 2 other people packing their shopping bags. Part 2. Later that night, as I arrived at work, I was introduced to my new manager, Red Round Angry Face. Well, F, or not. His predecessor introduced him as the new temporary manager who'd get the office into shape until a permanent manager would take over. Turns out, I don't work there, but I do work for RRAF. Neither of them realize those are code words for me. I know the company CEO and almost everyone directly underneath him, but there are a few layers of hierarchy between them and me, and I'm officially an independent contractor with a fixed hourly rate that's independent of my work time, day or night. The office manager is supposed to call me in as necessary. The secret is, I'm the company hitman. Due to the nature of the company, people in manager-level positions have very generous severance packages unless they're fired for cause. I can see why they want to get rid of RRAF. Long story short, we both act as if nothing happened, but he schedules me to work full night shifts for a month, which suits me perfectly fine given my hourly rate. Problem is, he was supposed to work these shifts instead of me. Strike 1. His computer doesn't properly log his weekly reports because of a crappy security system. Usually I help people with that, but the luck. Company headquarters flags him as non-compliant. Strike 2. Finally, a month in, he calls me into his office and tells me that I'm fired, that my services were no longer needed. Never mind that I can't be fired without authorization of the division manager. Strike 3. He was fired the day after. I was asked to supervise him cleaning out his office and was probably grinning like a moron the whole time. You should have given him a tub of potato salad as his parting gift and just slid it on top of his things as he was packing up. Very satisfying ending, OP. Well done. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.